So, let's talk about AI. For the last few years, it's felt like this unstoppable rocket ship, right? Well, according to industry experts, 2026 is the year that rocket comes back down to Earth. Not to crash, but to get a serious, much needed engine overhaul. It's the year AI gets real.
I absolutely love this quote from Forrester because it just nails the feeling perfectly. The whole era of, innovation theater, all those splashy demos and hype-fueled investments, that's coming to an end. 2026 is all about rolling up our sleeves. It's about putting AI to work in a way that actually shows up on the bottom line. The tiara is officially off and the hard hat is on.
All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with why this whole reckoning is happening in the first place. Then we'll get into the foundational work that's becoming non-negotiable. After that, we'll dive into the rise of AI agents, which are a total game changer for 2026. Look at the new strategies that are popping up, and finally, wrap up with what all of this means for you.
So why a reckoning? Well, it's actually pretty simple. After years of pouring billions and billions of dollars into AI, the people writing the checks, the boardrooms, the investors, are finally starting to ask, so where's the return? The pressure is officially on to prove that AI can do more than just write a clever email or make a pretty picture. A lot of analysts are putting 2026 squarely in what they call the trough of disillusionment. Now I know, that sounds pretty gloomy, doesn't it? But here's the twist. It's actually a fantastic thing. It's a sign that the industry is growing up. The crazy inflated hype is finally fading away, and the focus is shifting from what could this possibly do to what can it do for our bottom line right now. And this, right here, this is where the picture gets really, really clear. The gap between what companies are spending on AI and the actual profit they're seeing, it's just staggering. Forrester found that only 15%, just 1/5, of AI decision makers could say they saw any positive lift to their bottom line. A number that low, well, it's just not sustainable. And that is the fuel for this massive industry-wide correction. Okay, so if those early experiments were kind of a flop, what's the solution? Well, it's not about finding some magical new algorithm. It's actually about going back to basics. The next big wave of competitive advantage isn't going to come from the flashiest new model. It's going to come from building a rock-solid foundation first. In 2026, it all comes down to 3 critical pillars. First, modernizing your core IT infrastructure. I mean, you can't run a supercomputer on dial-up, right? Second, getting deadly serious about data quality. That old saying, garbage in, garbage out, has never been more true. And third, building something called a semantic layer. And trust me, this is the real secret sauce here, that lets the AI actually understand the business context of the data it's looking at. And the need to modernize infrastructure? It's not some far-off problem, it's urgent. Right now, 1 in 4 mission-critical systems is basically running on fumes, getting close to its end of life. Companies are finally waking up to the fact that you can't build a futuristic AI house on a crumbling foundation. Suddenly, AI readiness is the #1 reason to finally pay off all that technical debt they've been ignoring for years. Okay, so what on earth is a semantic layer? Think of it this way. Without it, an AI is like someone who can read every single book in a library but has no clue what any of the words mean. This layer is the translator. It's the dictionary. It takes raw data like SKU 734 and turns it into something meaningful, like men's running shoes, size 10, blue. This used to be a nice to have, but now it's the absolute backbone of trustworthy AI. Without it, you get AIs that sound super confident but are basically flying blind. Now, once that strong foundation is in place, we can start talking about the really exciting part. This is the biggest technological leap of 2026, agentic AI. This is where AI stops being a passive analyst and becomes an active operator. We're talking about a true digital workforce. So what are these AI agents? Well, simply put, they're autonomous systems that can see what's happening, figure out a goal, make a plan, and then actually execute that plan across different systems. And here's the key difference, the thing that changes everything. They don't just give you an answer, they go out and do something with it. Let's quickly walk through how an agent actually works. First, it perceives. It gathers up data from all over the place, databases, APIs, you name it. Then it reasons. It uses that info to understand the goal. Next, it plans, breaking that big goal down into smaller, bite-sized tasks. And finally, and this is the important part, it acts. It goes out and executes those tasks to get the job done.
So what does this actually look like in the real world? Okay, picture a financial trading firm where the whole team is made of AI agents. You've got one agent that's a total nerd for company financials. Another is constantly scanning social media for market sentiment. A third is watching global news. Their insights get debated, and then a trader agent makes the final call, all while a risk manager agent is watching over everything to make sure it's safe. It's literally a digital team.
This comparison in a supply chain really makes the difference pop. Your traditional AI, the analyst, might flag a supplier risk in an email. An AI agent, the operator, doesn't just flag the risk, it automatically reallocates the orders to a backup supplier. The old AI suggests a new shipping route, the new AI just reroutes the shipment. It completely closes that gap between getting an insight and actually taking action.
And this quote from Audit Jane, wow, it really gets to the heart of it. We're not just talking about better software anymore. We are talking about fundamentally changing how we work. The future isn't just about humans using AI tools. It's about humans collaborating with AI colleagues. So, when you combine a solid foundation with these incredibly powerful new agent capabilities, well, the old rulebook for how to deploy AI just gets thrown out the window. A completely new playbook is being written for 2026. One of the biggest shifts we're seeing is a move away from this bigger is better mindset. For a while, it was this crazy arms race to build the biggest large language models, or LLMs, but we're kind of hitting a wall. The new strategy is about being smarter, not bigger. Companies are now turning to small language models, SLMs, that are trained on their own private data to be hyper-efficient and deadly accurate for very specific tasks. And this whole shift is creating a brand new business model, agent as a service. Think about it. Instead of paying a license fee for a piece of software, you're going to subscribe to an outcome. You'll literally hire a team of digital agents to manage your procurement, and you'll pay for the results they deliver, not the code they run on. And if you think this is some small niche idea, just look at the numbers. The market for agent as a service is projected to explode, growing nearly tenfold in just 6 years. That's not a trend. That is a massive economic transformation where value is tied directly to AI-driven results. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. The reckoning, the new foundation, the rise of agents, the new playbook. Let's bring this all home. What does this actually mean for you and for your company?
The best way to think about 2026 is as a sorting year. It's a fork in the road, and it's going to create a huge divide. On one side, you're going to have the leaders, the ones who did the boring but essential foundation work. And on the other side, you'll have the laggards, who are still stuck chasing the latest shiny object. Success isn't about experimenting anymore. It's about disciplined, deliberate execution.
And that really brings us to the final thought here. The abstract concept of AI is quickly becoming a practical, everyday reality. Soon, you won't just use AI, you will work alongside it. So the question we want to leave you with is a personal one. Your next colleague might very well be an AI agent. Are you ready for that?